What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Gump Nation with your boy Kangaroo Black. Well, here at Gump Nation, there's always something to talk about when it's concerning my Alabama Crimson Tide and college football. And today, we're going to talk about my buddy, Paul Finebaum. Paul Finebaum seems to never, well, he do let me down sometime, but here lately, he been doing a good job. And last week, Paul Finebaum, what he was on? He was on McElroy and Kubley in the morning. All right. And Paul Finebaum predicted that 3 SEC teams will make it to the college football playoff. In my opinion, 4 or 5 could make it. But hey, Paul Finebaum broke it down to 3. All right. It could be more though. But Paul Finebaum, his 3 teams are the Georgia Bulldogs, my Alabama Crimson Tide, and the Texas Longhorns. Can you believe that some of these analysts got Missouri and Ole Miss making it to the playoff before my Alabama Crimson Tide? That tell me that Missouri and Ole Miss got to have a better record than my Alabama Crimson Tide, and I just don't believe that's going to happen. I keep telling y'all, just like I told y'all about LSU in 2022, just like I told y'all about Tennessee in 2022, they had a one-off. And yes, in 2023, Missouri had a one-off, a fluke season. That is what they had. Missouri going to go right back to being what they always have been in the SEC. So, hey, it is what it is. But they did have 2 good seasons in the SEC when they made the SEC championship. But they lost both times to Alabama, my Alabama Crimson Tide, and those Auburn Tigers. But anyway, but yeah, Paul Finebaum picked the Georgia Bulldogs, my Alabama Crimson Tide, and the Texas Longhorns to go to the playoff. Now, as far as Texas, under Steve Sarkisian's first year, it was bad. It was bad. I think they went like 7-5 or some shit like that. I think he been at Texas for what, 2 seasons now, I believe. But the first year was bad. Last season, pretty awesome for him. But we'll see if Steve Sarkisian can keep it up over there at Texas. Now he got all the talent. I think he got a playoff team over there for sure. Reason why he was in the playoff last season, I think they lost the Oklahoma game that they shouldn't have lost. But anyway, Paul Finebaum, hey, he said Georgia is a lock. You can just go ahead and take them off the table. Yeah, a lot of analysts, a lot of fans, not just Georgia fans, but fans of a lot of other fan bases, thought that in 2023. They thought Georgia was a playoff lock. They thought Georgia was a lock to win the SEC championship. But guess what? Georgia ran into that juggernaut, that blue blood called the Alabama Crimson Tide. And they didn't win the SEC. They didn't go to the playoff. But all Georgia fans got out of that was what they could have did. That's all. What if we'd have made the playoff, we could have did this or we could have did that. That's all they got out of it. They didn't get out of not going to the playoff, not winning the SEC. They didn't get out that we need to work harder. We need to do better. Kirby need to do better. No, they didn't get that out of that. All they got out was if we'd have made the playoff, we could have did that or we would have did that. That's all they got out of it. Hey, George Bulldog, Kirby Smart, you just got to do better. If you expect to compete with my Alabama Crimson Tide, I don't give a damn that Coach Saban is gone. We got a new coach, Kalen DeBoer, and he gonna own you. Believe it. And those Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart, they didn't have a Nick Saban problem. It wasn't a Nick Saban problem. It's an Alabama problem, and that problem's still there. You can believe it. And it ain't going no damn well. In September 28th, we're gonna whoop your ass once again, but this time in Bryant-Denny Stadium, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, instead of in Atlanta, where we always whoop your ass, or in Athens, in a part of Georgia, we whoop your ass. But you got to come to Bryant-Denny, and we're going to whoop your ass there this time, just like we did the last time you was there. But anyway, all right, but yeah, he say Georgia is a lock, and I say a lot of other people thought that too. Then, anyway, He say, hey, what does it say? Georgia came close last season, but the committee could not justify giving the Bulldogs a spot after losing to Alabama in the SEC championship. And guess what? You had some idiot Georgia Bulldog fans out there talking about they were still going to the playoffs over Alabama after Alabama just whooped their ass 10 minutes prior. Y'all still ain't going to the playoff, but Georgia going. Y'all only won by 3 points. It didn't matter, did it? It didn't matter. You went undefeated in the regular season, but you didn't get nothing out of it. Not a damn thing. But anyway, let me move on from the bombs. But anyway, then Paul Finebaum said, as far as Texas and Alabama, they would be my second team after Georgia and before Alabama. So he picking Alabama last. Georgia and Texas over Alabama. That's all right, Paul Finebaum. As long as you put us in there, that's all fine and dandy. As long as you put us in there. I don't give a damn what order it is. But I tell you what, my Alabama Crimson Tide going to come out on top. He said, and as far as Alabama, Finebaum has them in third. Paul Finebaum said, I really like Alabama depending on circumstances. But today, I would like them basically get in the playoff. What damn circumstances? Alabama, circumstances? Are you freaking serious? The circumstances is Alabama will be a playoff team no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Now, this article came out, I believe, early last week. I've been sitting on it, but I decided to do it today. But anyway, beyond those three, Finebaum is high on Ole Miss, but not ready to predict them to make the playoff. I'm saying it. I'm saying 3, 4, maybe 5 teams from the SEC can get in the playoff. Because Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, maybe Tennessee. Hell, you might even throw Oklahoma in there. It just depends. It just depends. But some of these teams got a hard schedule, man. Some of them got a hard schedule. Georgia's schedule ain't no cupcake this time. I would say eating cupcakes is over. But Alabama got 2 easy games to start the season. But after that, hey, they going on with it. Georgia got a couple of easy games. They got some Tennessee State or some shit, and then they got a couple other teams. But hell, I don't think no SEC team got just a cupcake schedule. Everybody is playing everybody now, so the cupcakes is a thing of the past. So hey, it is what it is. Paul Finebaum also said, I really like Ole Miss. I think Lane Kiffin, with some of the transfers and some of the recruits he has gotten, make them a good team. Which Lane Kiffin, he's a pretty good coach, man. If he just stopped going for it on 4th down, he probably can pull some close games out. But him going for it on 4th down as much as he do, I mean, it cost him some games sometime. But Paul Finebaum also said this should be a defining season for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Because if it was a 12-team playoff last season, Ole Miss would have been in the playoff. They only lost 2 games during the regular season against Georgia and Alabama. That was it. So they would have been a playoff team if it was a 12-team playoff. Hell, if it was an 18 playoff, I believe they'd have been in there. But anyway, Alabama will be in the playoff. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. First-year head coach, what's his name? Kalen DeBoer is going to take us to the playoff. First year. There's no doubt about it. Like I say, I want us to win a national championship. I feel like we got the team and the coaching staff to do it. But I ain't going to say right now we will. I want to see basically the first, we got 2 easy games. Then we got Wisconsin. I think then we got a bye. And then we got Georgia. A couple of other SEC teams. I say about week 6, I'll be like, hell yeah, my Alabama Crimson Tide going to win the national championship. You know what I'm saying? But in my prediction videos, I'm always pick my Alabama Crimson Tide to be the national champion in the end. You can believe it. I mean, y'all already know that shit. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know, Paul Finebaum picked 3 SEC teams to go to the playoffs in 2024. The Georgia Bulldogs, in his mind, is a lock. And like I told you, they was a lock in 2023. Hell, some of them had them a lock to three-peat. But the juggernaut, the kings of college football, the best team in all the land, the pedigree, the top of the food chain, didn't let it happen. But anyway, you got Georgia, who's a lock. You got Texas, then my Alabama Crimson Tide. So I appreciate it, Paul Finebaum. Let's see if your words reign to be true. And then, hey, it is what it is, but 28 got something for him. And a matter of fact, what's his name? I forgot his name, but he be on Paul Finebaum. He part of the Georgia Bulldogs media, whatever you want to call it. But he's a sports reporter, beat writer, or whatever you want to call him. But he said the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart, they ain't worried about Alabama on September 28th. The game that they most worried about is Texas. And that's a cold, hard lie. That's a lie. As many times as Alabama beat the hell out of them Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart, Alabama is always on their mind. They always nervous when it comes to my Alabama Crimson Tide. And guess what? It ain't in Atlanta this time. You got to come to Bryant-Denny. And we're going to tear off in that ass. And you can go on back. So, it is what it is, man. I know you're worried. But guess what? You have no reason to be worried. Because the same thing is going to happen. And y'all know it. But anyway, I ain't going to get too much into that. But, oh boy, he lying. He lied. I can't think of his name. Matter of fact, he was on Paul Finebaum yesterday. So, hey, it is what it is. But that's all I got for you now on Gump Nation. And I'll get back with y'all later and roll damn tide.